There's only 2 days left to register to vote in Georgia and Arizona. 48 hours. Like, text people now. Now. Oh, and then make sure they actually do vote. If they don't, this will be the last election.
So this is big. Elon Musk is now contributing to the Trump campaign in a very significant way. This is no longer about him tweeting in favor of Trump or doing a live stream interview with him. This is Elon now putting his money where his mouth is and employing what I think might be one of the most genius strategies in the history of modern politics, especially on the Republican side, right? Because it's usually the case that the Democrats are always the one outsmarting the Republicans and coming up with the new strategies. Republicans are locked in the old way. They can't adapt. They can't innovate. But now that you have someone obviously like Elon helping out the campaign, that entire script has now flipped. And we'll tell you about it in a second. But first, folks, let me say that if you enjoy the content, be sure to do us a big favor by hitting that subscribe button down below. Your subscriptions go a long way in ensuring we can keep bringing you videos like this, and it also helps you stay informed on all of the news in this election cycle. So it's a win-win. Go hit that red button down below. And before we get into it, a brief moment of context, because I think I should stress to everyone, this is something that Elon has viewed as very important, which is voter registration and voter turnout, which is something I have long said is going to decide this election. It's not about the presidential debate or who gave the better speech. It's ultimately going to come down to, do more Trump voters or Kamala voters show up to the polls in those key swing states? And it really is that simple.
This is a must-win situation. Must win. So I have one ask for everyone in the audience, everyone who watches this video, everyone in the live stream. There's one request. It's very important. Register to vote. Okay? And get everyone you know and everyone you don't know, drag them to register to vote. There's only 2 days left to register to vote in Georgia and Arizona. 48 hours. Like, text people now. Now. Oh, and then make sure they actually do vote. If they don't, this will be the last election. That's my prediction.
You hear me complain a lot about how today's media fails to represent the views of most Americans, especially if you are on the right wing or support Trump. So I've partnered with Ground News to show you an easy way to get past all the bias and approach current events from a more balanced perspective. Ground News is an app and website that gathers news from both left and right wing sources on the same exact topic, so that way you can form your own opinion based on every perspective. They even take it a step further with their blind spot feed that exposes the selective reporting of the mainstream media. It surfaces important stories barely getting attention, like this one on how Elon Musk is sending Starlink terminals to aid the disaster zone in North Carolina, which Ground News found only 13% of the reporting on came from left-wing sources. You would think that would be a pretty big story, but apparently not to the MSM. Or this one on how working class voters are helping to shift Philadelphia, Pennsylvania to the right in favor of Donald Trump, which Ground News also found left-wing sources only comprised of 13% of the coverage on this news story. There's a reason they don't want to talk about these things, because with it being an election year, I really think news like this can help change the trajectory of elections and even of the country, but only if you are aware of them in the first place, and that's why I trust Ground News to help out with that. So, to stay fully informed on news that can easily become sensationalized or outright ignored by the mainstream media, like the 2024 election, visit ground.news/VinceDao or scan the QR code on my screen. My viewers save 40% on the same Vantage plan that I use for unlimited access to all of their features. Not only would you be supporting my work, you'd also be supporting an independent platform that respects conservative views. So you heard Elon obviously say that during the Trump rally this Saturday in Butler, Pennsylvania. But you may be asking, okay, but what is he doing with his resources about it? Well, now here is your answer. Check this out. Elon's America PAC is now offering $47 for each registered voter that you refer in a swing state that signs this petition. And the link here is petition.theamericapac.org. And I presume that will put you on some type of email or contact list where people are going to try to go and say, hey, make sure you registered to vote. Hey, reminder, have you gone out to vote, etc. And this is what the petition right here reads. The First and Second Amendments guarantee freedom of speech and the right to bear arms. By signing below, I am pledging my support for the First and Second Amendments. In appreciation for your support, you will receive $47 for each registered voter that you refer who signs this petition. Our goal is to get 1 million registered voters in swing states to sign in support of the Constitution, especially free speech and the right to bear arms. This program is exclusively open to registered voters in PA, Georgia, Nevada, Arizona, Michigan, Wisconsin, and North Carolina. It expires October 21st. Now, I read all of that to say that if any of you out there are college students or heck anyone who could use a little bit of extra income, a little passive money here on the side. Hey, to my knowledge, this is now open to everyone. I am not sponsored. I'm not being paid to promote it. I'm just putting it out there, right? Obviously, it's something that's going to a good cause. To all my best knowledge, it's completely legal with campaign finance law. And look, paying people in the grassroots to make sure they're chasing registered voters out there is completely brilliant, in my opinion, okay? And this is exactly why you have someone who is as genius and as innovative and as creative as Elon Musk, now helping strategize for Trump and the Republican Party, because this is just the type of thing that with his resources, he figured out like the right way to do this, and it might seem so simple. By the way, this is something that Democrats do all the time, but nobody on the Republican side has thought of this, especially thought of it in such a unique and easy way, right? Because, there's all these campaigns where, hey, we're looking for door knockers, phone bankers, you'll get free food. Sometimes if you're lucky, you get a little bit of money, but so many people out there, although it is unfortunate, do kind of view it like, well, I don't want to go door knock. I don't want to go spend my Saturday phone banking or something. It's just too much work and you're not being paid a lot of money for it. In this case, all you got to do is text a few people in other states, and for each person you refer, you're getting $47. That's pretty solid money, right? That is a strong incentive structure, and some people might have the counter argument that they think it's unethical. You're basically buying votes, and I'm sure some conservatives may respond with that criticism, but ultimately, here's the way I see it. Okay, first of all, again, to my knowledge, it's completely legal, but this is exactly what the Democrats do. This is a big way that they have managed to win so many elections, is they have built this political machine. I go to a public school here in Florida, and anyone who does will tell you all about the petitioners, right? These are the people who Democrats pay. They're just like random people out there. Most of them look like they're probably unemployed besides this, but they get paid to go on these campuses and, hey, sign this signature for a ballot referendum or something like that. And that is how they get these kinds of things done, right? And for a fact the Kamala campaign is already very busy, probably doing something like this, but the incentive structure here, again, so strong, so smart. The only thing I wish is that Elon Musk maybe came up with the idea earlier, because if we were doing this all year long, can you imagine how many registered voters we would have out there who are, going to turn out for Trump on election day? But hey, certainly better late than never. And if you still need a wake-up call because you still see it as buying votes are unethical, even though this is one of the most important elections literally in the history of our country, and you got to play to win, right? But if you're still in that mindset, let me contrast that for a second with the type of things that Democrats have already been caught doing in this election cycle. And unlike the Elon situation where, people, you can refer other people to the petition, but they have to consent themselves to sign it. Take a listen to the recent scandal that just broke out of Arizona, and this was exposed by the college Republicans chapter at Arizona State. So, major breaking: 150,000 students, according to them, from all Arizona universities, including ASU and U of A have received a text from Kamala Harris's campaign telling these students to vote for her. If Kamala Harris has access to all of Arizona college students' phone numbers, what else do they have? Okay, so this was a situation where regardless if you're Republican, Democrat, you've never been involved in politics in your life, if you went to an Arizona university, all these different people are reporting they got this text from the Kamala campaign, which of course begs the question, how exactly did the Democrat Party get access to the records of every student who goes to an Arizona university? How'd they get that phone number? How'd they get that email? And honestly, to me, this seems like it could be a major scandal or lawsuit, because I just asked a simple question. How is a public university allowed to disclose its information like that of the students to a political campaign? That seems completely unethical on every level. But out of curiosity, I went, for instance, to the ASU website and I read up their privacy policy because I was very curious. And this is why I say, I don't know, maybe something shady, if not downright illegal, went down here, because it says disclosure of information. So this is their policy. ASU does not disclose confidential information we collect online to individuals or entities not affiliated with ASU, except in the limited circumstances described below. Which of course makes you beg the question, in that case, how did a Democrat political campaign get access to the phone numbers and contact info of every college student in the state of Arizona? Very fishy, right? Allegedly. Non-confidential information may be disclosed or distributed pursuant to federal law, state laws, including Arizona public records laws and ASU Board of Regents policies. And here is the language on the issue of student records. Okay, certain records of students are protected by the Federal Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act, Arizona law, and ASU policy. Information about students' access to their education, blah, blah, blah. But here you go. This policy also provides information on student rights to limit access to their directory information, and ASU may disclose confidential student information with the consent of the student under subpoena or court order, or in other limited circumstances as performed by FERPA or other applicable laws. Now, let me ask the question. So however the Kamala campaign appears to have gotten access to the student directories in Arizona, clearly that would not have been done with the consent of the student. It wouldn't have been done either by subpoena or court order or anything having to do with FERPA. So I don't know, again, exactly how they got this information or what the extent was. But again, seems like a pretty major scandal there that even Republican students, even non-political students who probably have never signed up for one of these email lists in their life, I know privacy laws are not that strict in America, but still are getting texts from the Kamala campaign. How do they even know they're college students in Arizona? Very fishy. But you think Elon Musk doing something much more ethical in order to play to win, that's the problem? Of course it's not. What he's doing is genius. What the Democrats here are doing, in contrast, should tell you everything you need to know. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comment section down below. Do you think Elon's strategy to pay people to help chase other registered voters with this petition is smart? Will you be participating in it for yourself? Again, October 21st, you have 2 weeks to chase as many signatures if you are curious. And with that said, be sure to leave a like on this video, subscribe if you are new. God bless and peace.